Was Beth, quite a few important substantive lines emerging today.
Yes, Colin, probably the most striking was some news on the Nightingale Hospital in London. You'll remember these hospitals were built up around the country, a number of them, I think there were 7 actually around the country, all designed to deal with COVID patients. Well, the government today confirming that the hospital in London, the Nightingale in London, the first one, you remember, it's that huge one in the Excel Centre. It could take up to 4,000 patients. It's gone on standby. And the Prime Minister's spokesperson said it's not likely we'll have to admit patients because the virus is under control. Nightingale London will be placed on standby should it be ready to receive patients again, but we do not expect that to be the case. So that hospital now mothballed, if you like, the first real sign that this peak in the epidemic well and truly over, at least in London. Still hospitals opened around the country, but for London, that hospital now on standby. The other Nightingale hospitals are still open, but it reflects, doesn't it, that idea that the Prime Minister made, or statement the Prime Minister made last week, that we have now passed the peak of the virus. So that's some good news, isn't it, that that hospital is no longer expected to need to be accepting COVID-19 patients. Other things happening this week. The Prime Minister, we expect, will do Prime Minister's questions. You remember last week he was otherwise engaged as his son Wilfred was born in the University College London Hospital, the NHS hospital. At 9 a.m. Little Wilfred was born. He's going to chair Cabinet and Cobra this week. We're expecting a statement on Thursday. That's because that's when the government legally has to review the lockdown. But as to more detail about what they will say, lots of stonewalling, really, from the Prime Minister's spokesperson saying to wait while they put the plans together. Nicola Sturgeon, as is her habit, said that she thought it was likely the lockdown measures will continue this Thursday. The Prime Minister's spokesperson said of that, and he was cautious because he said he hadn't seen Nicola Sturgeon's statement, but he said we can't preempt the review. We've said it said that if we do ease social distancing measures in any way, it's likely to be a very gradual process. And my takeaway from that is don't expect much movement on Thursday, but we might have an announcement, or we expect to have an announcement over the weekend, while the Prime Minister will actually explicitly set out the next stages.